Wow.
It's gonna feel like summer. All right, it's time to take a coffee break, and we are gonna start with the way people are trying to stay connected without all the distractions.
Yes, even as Apple teases the iPhone 16 with more and more new features, sales of flip phones, people, are seeing a big surge. Searches for flip phones are up 15,000% over the past year, especially for Gen Z and millennials. And sales of these dumb phones are up for the second year in a row. Many people say the simplest reason for going back to basics with the phone is they feel powerless from smartphone distractions. The average person spends as much as 5 hours a day on their smartphone. I know.
Wow.
Some people are even buying flip phones as a second phone, keeping their smart one for work hours, but then when they're off the clock, they drop all of the extra distractions for a flip phone. I think this is a genius idea. I've also, in divorced households, it works really well if you don't want your kid GPS tracked at the other household to have a dumb phone, right? There's many situations where you might want that, but it's, I love the idea. I want to go back to the flip phone.
I don't know if I could do it. In theory, I would like to do it, but just sending a text message, I don't know. Maybe I'm addicted.
Well, you got to use the phone to call people. You're not texting.
But what if I don't want to talk to them? We talk.
You can still text.
We talk all day.
You just have to go A, B, C.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
I think that we can't. It's a proven fact now. We can't police ourselves.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll use it less. If it's there, you're going to grab it and look at it 3 times a minute.
Right.
So you got to go back to something that doesn't even have it as a possibility.
Right.
It's like don't keep If you don't want to eat ice cream, you probably shouldn't have ice cream in your freezer.
Too.
That's why I got rid of the Cheetos yesterday.
Oh man.
Well, my son's at summer camp and it's no phones.
Yeah.
And so he's there for a week, and it's so strange for me
you're
too
dying right
because
now.
I am a little because I can't check in with him. But at the same time, I'm really curious to see what he thinks when he gets back. Just
It's good for both of you.
No technology, and maybe it's freeing for him,
cool.
or he'll come home and grab his phone and. We'll see.
I just would like people to start talking to one another again.
Yeah, I think so. Good.
We all need a cleanse.
Yeah.
It's hard to do though. Well, from first phones to first jobs, working in fast food has been seeing a big upgrade for workers, and managers can now make well into the 6 figures. Salaried general managers for fast food chains now make $83,000 a year as part of California's new fast food workers pay law, but some can earn as much as $174,000 a year with performance bonuses. Raising Cane's is one of the chains offering these kind of pay packages to try to get managers to stick around for the long term, but the jobs come with strict expectations for store performance and consistency for the customer's experience, food quality, and many managers work 10-hour days and are earning well above the average for college graduates with a bachelor's degree. Some are even choosing these jobs even though they already have a degree. I will say my husband's first job was at McDonald's, and he talks about how hard that work was. And when we go into these restaurants, it's a lot of work, and to keep everybody happy and to keep it flowing and to keep it fast.
I feel like $174,000 isn't enough to deal with all the people.
Yes.
And think about how much profit each restaurant must be making if even in this, obviously prices have gone up. They're doing well enough that they can pay that much for a manager. I think the employees should share in on some of the profits.
I agree. I mean, McDonald's was my first job as well, and it was one of those situations where the customers that would come in are so rude to people. And I was always, I became a manager pretty quickly. I was the one that they would talk to, and I would love talking to them because I like to check them and be like, hey, have some respect for the rest of us. We're doing the best that we can.
Yeah.
And just what they go through. And then the employees that are working there, the kids who are not really working hard. It's a tough job. So, hey, if your company's making the money, and I feel you deserve the money. So.
Yeah, if you're producing a successful business for them, then you deserve a cut of that profit.
And we're still going and keeping us full, so.
Yeah.
You might need a 6-figure salary if you want to go to Disney this summer.
Oh, I know.
Any Disney
I think you
place.
need even more than that.
Many families say they're actually going into debt to pay for these trips. According to a survey from LendingTree, the average family goes over budget by an average of $2,000 when they take a Disney vacation. 45% of parents of kids under 18 saying they take on debt to pay for the trip.
Wow.
Many say they need up to 6 months to fully pay it off. Lots of the blame for the bill goes to pricey foods and souvenirs. I'm a fan of the $18 churro, but you got to buy 5 of them.
Yeah.
That's $90. The cost of transportation to hotels was also something many underestimated. Even with the high cost, 90% of the respondents say, hey, it was worth it.
Well, this is where I do think, you know, I feel like there's no middle class anymore when you look at these types of things, right? It used to be that you could have one person working and you paid for 2 cars, a house, and maybe a trip to Disney World. Now none of that can happen on one salary.
Well, and you always wonder how high can their tickets go before people say, forget it, Disney.
Right.
And every time they raise them, I'm like, oh, people are gonna stop going. And then you go there and it's a zoo. So I see why people go into debt. Plus it's one of those things, you know, I'll say to my kids, all right, let's pack food and bring it in. But your kid is not gonna walk by that churro or that balloon or whatever, you know, and you wanna give them that experience, and it's hard because we all kind of fall under that trance. So then you walk out of the park like $3,000 poor.
And I think that's why it's smart where parents, they basically wait till their kids are a little older so they can actually remember their experience at Disney. But I don't, what age is that? They start remembering 5, 6? So.
Well,
sometimes. Depends.
Depends on the big
But they're cheap. They're free under
like,
3. So some people want to bring them in because they're free under 3.
Well, the other thing is we're really lucky that we have it here. I mean, I think about, I have friends flying out from Boston later this summer. So you talk about the transportation and the hotel costs and stuff.
A lot of money.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about dating. When it comes to dating, a lot of people, not us, but they're looking for someone who can, you know, treat them to vacations, the other fine things in life.
Well, I can't do this even if I'm married. I can't find someone who treats me to those
You're taken, girl. All right, so a survey by dating.com, datesiteseeking.com, found almost half of its respondents said they want to date someone from a higher socioeconomic status than they are, and that they'd want their partner to support and enhance their own lives. They say emotional connection is a necessity.
Well, thank goodness.
Yeah, right? But so are things like being swept off their feet with exclusive experiences. 31% said financial success plays a major role in a person's attractiveness. And so does being able to cook well. First off, what does this other person have to offer? Because it's not fair for just one person to offer everything and you just get to take and enjoy it all. You got to offer something.
Yeah, well, I would hope so. I mean, why are you looking at me?
I'm not looking at you. We all have something.
You were
to
the
offer,
first to speak up about it.
And so do our partners. Like we do.
It's true. I always joke, I'm married for love the first time. If I ever do it again, I'm marrying for money. Which I'm kidding. I hope to never get married again.
Yeah. This is why he looked at you.
Right? I didn't look at her. I was just saying, no. You're a hard worker.
I mean, I think that it's fair to say you want someone who's as successful as you are, right?
Compliment
that you
what
don't want to carry someone else.
Yeah.
But I do think that that's a bit presumptuous to be like, well, I want you to have more than me and give it all to me.
You see that in LA all the time.
Oh, yeah.
It grinds my gears. I'm like, come on, people. I have something else to offer. And it's a 50-50. Like, you need to both offer something. I agree. It's all about love.
Pull together, work hard together, and make the money together. That's the best
Exactly.
way to do it.
And, you know, some makes a little, some makes a lot. It doesn't matter. Come together. You're all a family.
Okay.
You just solved a lot of the world's problems.
I know. It's one of those things that really upsets me sometimes.
Okay.
People, so
well, I'm glad we were able to work this out in your therapy session today.
I know, right? There you go.
And that's today's coffee break.
Now you can get your Kcal news, weather, and live stream all in one place on the CBS News app. Download it free today.